first day of school for us here in Canada. Kids are going back to school this morning. My daughter's last year of high school for one, middle school for the other. So new frontiers, and even to all the parents who are dealing with their children starting school. That's your scenario. We wish them traveling mercies. We wish them favor and the countenance of God shine upon them, that light would outperform darkness over their life, and that education and information and revelation and inspiration would be what they receive when they go to those educational institutions. God bless you this morning to all of the Cyclopses there in the building. I needed a little bit of a hiatus so I can get back and doing things the right way. So you're going to see these lives happening on the morning, coming live to you every morning right here on the channel that makes the whole world think. Listen to me. There is something that's happening right now in the black intelligentsia that actually the white community is speaking about right now. It's quite shocking, quite alarming. There's a lot of things happening, but this is one of the things I wanted to get to and start my day off with this, and maybe come back with something else later on the drive back. Listen, and good day to you too, Brian Holmes. There is a push and an understanding that because of Donald Trump's charges, because he has been now charged, that him being charged would build an affinity with black men who also fear the issues with the justice systems of America, and will now vote for Trump because they feel that Trump is somehow a de facto representative of the same imperial or empirical oppressor that oppresses black men. This is what the belief is from the conservative side of the fence. The conservative side of the fence is saying, be careful. These charges are going to turn into support for Donald from black men. Black men are going to start voting, start having sympathy towards Trump, and all of a sudden you're going to inspire the black vote to come and run to Trump's side. Now, the question is this true? And I'm not going to address whether it's true or not. I'm going to speak from both sides of the coin. If it is true that our brothers, I was hoping to get my sunglasses in here because I know that I see that sun coming around the horizon, and I believe I did not bring them. They're not here. If our brothers really felt that that somehow, because Donald Trump is being attacked, that this leads us to, as black men, when I say us, leads us to black men or black people in general, to support Donald because somehow the powers that be are attacking a good man who clearly speaks for our benefit, and then that would mean that we would have to buy into this false rhetoric, and I do mean it to be false. I do specifically want to say it's false rhetoric that Donald Trump has been a good president, was a good president in respect to what he did for black people. Let's talk about that, and then let's talk about the other side of that coin. Okay. Let's say some of you do think that. Let's examine that and dissect that. Donald Trump's attack by the Democratic side, his attack even by the conservative side, is not because somehow he is a hero or a champion for black people. That's not what it is. and I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. They truly believe that the best chance to beat Biden, and the best representation for a two-term president is DeSantis. Trump could only serve for one term if he gets it. He could only serve for one term. If they're playing the long game, he's a bad bet. Everything that they want from Trump, DeSantis said he will deliver. And they truly believe that a guy who is sitting currently as the governor of Florida can carry the southern states, can carry the white conservative to a win. And trust me, it smarts for conservatives that their president only serve one term. They do not want to have a scenario where they have 4 terms to 1 of a Democratic presidency in America. And they're desperately trying to get Biden, even as Biden's compromised, they desperately think that DeSantis not only will be a better candidate in the long term, but that he can potentially beat Biden. I've said this myself many times. I say DeSantis beats Biden, but Trump beats DeSantis. I've said this many times. And the conservatives know that if they don't somehow get Trump off of this nomination ballot, the capacity to actually represent the GOP in some way, that his support structure, his base is so powerful, it will probably beat DeSantis. And they're quite concerned about that because they don't believe Trump can beat Biden. They believe DeSantis is the answer to beat Biden. And so this conversation has nothing to do about the man attacking Trump. And it absolutely has nothing to do with black men's capacity to see a form of camaraderie in the Donald. You understand what I'm saying? The Donald ain't a friend to y'all. Okay? You got to remember the Central Park young boy. I think it was Central Park 6 or Central Park 5. I forget how many it was at this time. But you got to remember, man, how Donald responded to those boys in the late 80s. Donald wanted the death penalty for them. They were guilty by race in the eyes of Donald Trump. People didn't look at Donald that way back in the day. They didn't look at him as a political figure. They didn't know what Donald was whispering. You got to watch the show Billions. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You got to watch the show Billions in its current season. There's a gentleman, Michael Prince, and he runs Prince Capital. And he is a billionaire who wants to be president. And it's a very interesting show. Because in the show, his cohorts are trying to stop him, subtly trying to stop him from being the president because they know he's a monster. I mean, it's like, yeah, he looks good on the outside, but he's a monster. We know he's a monster. And so therefore they're trying to stop him from the inside and out. His right-hand man is a black guy, a black Republican-looking guy. Yeah. And it's very interesting the parallel that they're running with that particular show. And it seems like nobody can stop Michael Prince from ascending to the presidency. This is the same thing. Donald Trump, billionaire, running for election, and this whole ploy to stop the Donald. So brothers, this has nothing to do with you. Let's go to the other side of the coin. Okay? Let's say black people who, absolutely don't believe. Try that a little bit here. We don't believe that black men are going to vote for Donald, because don't underestimate how many brothers are sympathetic to Donald Trump. Don't underestimate how many black men are very sympathetic to Donald Trump. That's what I want to say. There's a lot of brothers who are very sympathetic to Donald Trump. There's a lot of people, a lot of black people who have become de facto Trump supporters, and it's not because of Donald's necessary attack by his GOP and the Democrats who are coming, to make sure that they keep punishing a Republican president, right? They're sympathetic to Donald Trump because they rather Trump than DeSantis, and they have no faith in Biden. That's where it's been. That's where it is. First of all, black people don't agree with the morality of the Democratic Party for the most part. For the most part, most black Americans are moral conservatives. Most of them are. Got some that are not. Most black Americans are moral conservatives. Most of you are. Muslim, Hebrew, Christian, Jew, and other moral conservatives that are secularists. Most brothers and sisters are moral conservatives. They can't buy into the white supremacy of the Republican Party, so they land on the Democratic side because they're not being prejudiced against or oppressed by their politics or their sexual orientation or anything else. They're being oppressed because of the color of their skin, and so they end up on the Democratic side, even as moral conservatives, because they know very well that they got no love over there on the GOP side. They're terrified of having to swallow the blue pill of white supremacy while they vote Republican. And so they're moral conservatives. But they're on the Democratic side. But what DeSantis does is he awakens the fear in black people. And interestingly enough, he is more dangerous than Donald. We've seen it very clearly. If Donald Trump had a dog whistle for white supremacists to run to, DeSantis is blowing a shofar horn. It is a call to action from the top of the mountains. That's what a shofar sounds like. I got one in the house. I try to blow it every now and then. That brother is blowing a shofar horn, saying, not only do I need you to show up, I need you to show up in full regalia. We're going to make legislation, and you have nothing to worry about. Nothing at all to worry about. I'm going to make sure all the things that you were afraid to say, you can say them. You can tell black people, listen, slavery was good for you. Shut up. You're lucky we saved you from the jungles of Africa and brought you over here, you savages. You can tell them that. You tell them, I'm going to make legislation that they can't even teach their own history. You tell those blacks, stop telling your children that you were oppressed, that we treated you poorly. We took good care of you when you were over here. We taught you trades and gave you basketball, taught you how to dance, play the piano. Look at you. Got all your wonderful entertainers, put you in the Hall of Fame, gave you nice shoes to wear, etc., etc. DeSantis' America is America from the 1950s. That's where he's taking you back. And he's quite pleased to do so. He's quite pleased to do so. So, you're not in a scenario where you should ever think that Donald Trump is a better option. This is one is the elephant in the room now. What about Biden and Kamala? Wow. Is Biden and Kamala good for the black community? Well, look at your alternatives. That's really all I can say about that. And you know what? It's a shame because I really wish I could say things that are absolutely more positive. And you're gonna have to do a deeper dumpster dive than I have done to see great things in Biden's policies, his international policies, and his domestic policies. I've literally seen nothing from that presidency that makes me at all optimistic about another term. And he's very fortunate that he's running against Satan and Beelzebub, because Satan, DeSantis, Beelzebub, Trump. He should be very happy that the only thing that the GOP can bring to the table are card-carrying, racist, and a xenophobic narcissist with grandeurs of power, wanting his last kick at the cat, feeling he's been robbed and deprived, and lucky that that party is eating itself alive from the inside out, and that there's some smart Democrats chopping down the tree. It's incredible. It's really incredible. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I'd like you guys to analyze it. Take a look for yourselves. Let me know what you think. But black men, come on. There's no reason for you to be out there talking about we want to support Donald because the man is coming for him. No. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to us. And white folks who are talking about that, stop embellishing, because the black men that actually think like that are in the far minority. And stop trying to create a narrative that causes us to think, hey, maybe they're right. No, you're not right. Donald's not being attacked for anything that we've been attacked for. He's not oppressed. He's not marginalized. He's not an exceptionality. Donald's being attacked because of what Donald has done and said, and all the evil that has come through his presidency. And he's got a lot of evidence. To pile up against him. Some of it is silly and circumstantial, but just where there's smoke, sometimes there's a little bit of fire. And they don't want him to run because they want DeSantis to have clear sailing. That's it. All right. God bless you, man. Have an amazing day. To all the kids going back to school, God bless you. To all the Cyclops in the building. Hey, Al, the Spice Man, Yvonne, Sister Ann, everybody, all my friends, Black Panther X, and to my brother here, Brian Holderness. Bless you, man. Talk soon. Bye-bye.